New day starts, new day begins. We awaken in the morning for that day. We go to sleep. We awaken for that day. We go to sleep. We awaken for that day. Then the weekend. The one day of prayer of choice and your freedom from the job that supplies you with all the needs for shelter, food, family, and care. If you do not work, don't consider yourself really unemployed, social benefits. Forget about all that stuff. That's all bullshit. People should just shut up. Some people just can't work. Okay? I'm not quite sure because I really haven't tried it lately, but I don't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 10, 11, and 12, 1, and 2 in the afternoon. But I don't go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night either. I go to sleep at 11, 12, 1, 2. I sort of like to complete my day and go to sleep when I am tired and wake up when I'm awakened within. And I always feel good when I wake up. The only thing I want to go over here is just a few things. The Mercedes, okay? The word Mercedes, the first three letters says mother, okay, and says ocean in French, more or less. La mer, the ocean, is the mother. We also call the mother Mother Nature in English. Okay, la mer de nature in French. So do you think we just say it by coincidence? Is it just by coincidence we call animals by the names and they sort of act like their names because we're so used to understanding the way names and the way the animal moves that he makes the acts to the name of the animal? Everything was here. The question is, where is here? Where is up here? We're the final outlet here on Earth, up here. But where's the extension of up here? I mean, it must be something when your mind sees a beautiful woman or a nice guy, and up here goes, whoa, and down there it goes, you know what I'm saying? So where is up there that the sexual mode can actually move us from one position to another position? The animal nature God brought onto this planet so that we can prosper. He wanted us to be horny. God wanted us to be horny. He put all these things here so we can fall down to get up again. Make us stronger the second time. How are you going to get stronger? But some of the faults are we play sports and you always have to win, and it's not true. You don't always have to win. You have to make it fair. Sports teams, by the way, there's some kind of new thing they do right now. It's if the team pays out too much salary, they got to pay a penalty to the league. I think we should do the same thing in the monetary world. Okay? If one company is too big, how do we break it down? It's not fair against their civil liberties, right? But business and personal are not the same. Okay? If we cannot withstand these big companies, we have to take them away or shrink them. It's not our fault. The system won't work unless we do it. You understand? You have to do to make the system work. If everybody is eating on the street, yet there's 100,000 less millionaires in the world, big deal. If you're getting a good enough pay out of your business, okay, that when it comes time to retirement, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, $15 million. That's fine. And when you start to have 150, 250, 350, a billion, $1 trillion, it's too much. It's too much. No man needs $1 trillion in his life. You know what I'm saying? We should almost have it like the doctors do it. They come up for 35 hours, they met their quota, they go home. Why not the same way? Man works, he's 50 years old, he's met his quota. Let him live on the pension that somehow we have to set up so that it guarantees man money. You know what I'm saying? Your pension is not money. It's the bullion, the gold and the silver that's hidden in the vaults. That's what's going to be exchanged. It's going to go from me to you. And obviously in time, I mean, well, you really can't say obviously in time, because I know 25 years ago, silver was like at $3 at one point. I think it's $35 now. So really, has it gone up? Has it gone down? Why isn't it, is that the true value of it today now, silver at $35? Or what would that make in the last 30 years then? Doesn't it supposed to double up every 7 years? Anyways, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do. Something has to be done. What? 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 Oh, thank you. Yes, somebody just let me know um, I'm Canadian. Well, you know what? I talk for the people of this entire world. I'm quite sure I can speak for 95% of the world, okay? That people would rather have peace than war. People would rather have a better budget than the government's going out and spending as they free will or what they want, instead of checking, not only check what the people of your town wants, not only check what the people of your city want, not only think of what your state wants, but what is the other state doing next to you? Okay, what are the people talking about? Don't forget, when you confine 10 people to a room, if they're all going to say yes before you ask the question, then that's manipulation, and there's way too much manipulation all over the place. I went into court for a ticket, a speeding ticket, and the guy looks over my record and he says, well, he says, you know, you've had 3 speeding tickets in the last 2 years. What makes this one any different? What is he bringing up? What happened in the last 3 years now? What is he? You know what I'm saying? What is he sort of? But if you don't bring that up and it's a criminal in court and he's knocked people over the head and he's going to say, well, what makes this one different this time? Well, maybe he had a reason to. Sometimes there is reason. Sometimes there is reason for things. Anyways, let me tell you, there's one God, there's one Spirit, there's one birth. That's you. That's your Trinity. Okay? That's your mind. Okay? But your birth comes upon with the spade. Okay? S-P-A-D, ninth. Okay? S&P, spade, standards and poors. A-D-E, standard and poors. The man needs aid. We got a spade. Okay? The spade, jack is one eye, and the heart jack is one eye. The heart jack has one eye and holds a flower. The club jack has 2 eyes and he has a flower in his hat. Now the queens all have flowers, and that's communication. If you notice, one of the queens' flower is different from all the other flowers, and at the same time they're not all looking in the same direction. Now what I want to say is we are in a split world here, okay, but not split into 2, okay. Or actually, it is split into 2. First, it's split into alpha and beta. And then man is created, and the heavens are created. So we actually have 4 parts. Chop each part up into 4. You'd have 16 times 4, which would equal to 64, which would be angel and man if you look back at all my work. Now, man is 6, the angel is 4. 4 and 6 makes that 110 connection of man. And they both fit on a dice. So they fit inside man's world, okay? And it's a 10-10. Now we have the 5 passage, a 3 creation. We have the 7th gate. Do you know what to spell gate? 7th gate? G-E-I-G-H-T. 7th gate. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the game. So I told you, the game goes like this. 40. That's your small game, your Monopoly. That's X by 4. Why is it X by 4? Because you go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you go 1, 2, 3, 4 on this hand, it's not actually like that. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I switched hands. Don't you count? Either you use this one as 1 or this one as 1. And you count onto this hand. So if you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, you have to count 6, 7, 8 here. You understand what I'm saying? Your pinkies or your thumbs and your pinkies, okay, are very special. You have a thumb on each hand. They're each in opposite directions. One is for the alpha world. One is for the beta world, right? But man's all thumbs, okay? And since the beta world is split, the only alpha world spirit there is you in between the 2 thumbs. Hello. Beta world connection. Right here. Thumbs up. How do you want to count it? The pin key, pinky, the key, the nip backwards, the key nip to your life. I'm still not 100% sure how this works, okay? But if the fingers are down, okay, look how they lift up, right? Now, if you do it the other way and you do it this way, I can't even lift this finger. This one is almost forced to stay down when this one and this one are up. That's as much as I can lift it. And on this hand, you just can't make that finger lift all the way. It's the formation of our hands. Everything that was made here, every letter design, every color, and I know I go over this all the time. It's all because it was used in creation, okay? So now what we get is the 40 cycle. 40, 400, 4,000 years, okay? And we stop. Why do we stop at 4,000 years? I'm going to show you. 4 by 14, right? Looks like a 14, right? It's an M letter. Looks like 14, eh? Sometimes it does for you. 4 times M in Roman numerals is 4,000. 4 times 4, because when you take the M, okay, and I've done this before, and I'm always going to do it again, okay? When you take the M, it breaks down to Roman numeral 4, Roman numeral 6. 4, because everything's broken up into quarters. That's why there's 4s everywhere. 4 by 4 is 16, the one spirit of the 6th man. 4 by 6, 24. 2 times 4 is the 8 heaven. 2 plus 4 is 6 angel. 24 and 16 equals to 40. Now, the center, okay, is used 4 times. 4 by 5 is 20, total 60. 60 equals the word 4. 6 and 4, 60 plus 4, 64. And the diamond suit that goes along with it, because the letter count for diamond, which means day of the world, dia, mons, day of the world. And this would be the inferno, actually. So in all actuality, right here, in this letter, it's these letters on your telephone, 4, 5, and 6. Or backwards, the Federal Reserve. Okay? Now, anyways, if we take the period of 4,000 years, I'm not going to go back, okay, in the Hebrew calendar, and add on, okay, for the year 2014, my number, the prediction number of something that's going to happen, we have a difference of 1,776 years that make up the rest. I don't make up these numbers. They just set up the 4,000 year cycle, and then come to today. I mean, in 2000 and, 14, you have 1776, a reverse. But I always said I should always be off by 2, more or less. Why? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you go 4, 3, 2, or 1, 2, you're covering all the 4 numbers. So it's 2 more or 2 less. Can never be anything else. Mercedes-Benz, 120 degrees. All the differences between here. Stands for 8 hours a day of our complete day. Anyways, I was talking about Ron Paul and what he should do, and who am I, anyways, to say anything. I just think he's the only one to get out there, and if there's, let me tell you one thing, it's not that hard to fix the debt. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. The question is, I haven't crunched all the numbers yet to see exactly what the figures are, the expenses are, okay, and if we're collecting enough money for the road taxes or the gasoline or the cigarettes or anything else to pay for the roads and everything else. Someone's got to pay for it, you know. I mean, you don't get into the electric company, you know, and own the electric company. Doesn't that make any sense? No human being should be allowed to really and truthfully, should any human being own the oil under the ground? Shouldn't that belong to the country, so everybody can share in the profits and not just one person sharing in the profits? You know what I'm saying? The federal government wasn't put there, or any government or any association wasn't put there to get 300 billion, okay, in tax deductions and kickbacks, and 28 million when they gave that money, what was it, GM or whatever, and then right away they divvied up $28 million. And that was only one of that, I know. Between 4 guys, 7 million each. That's out of our pocket, my friends. Okay, in Canada, there's only 28 million people. That's $1 each. Plus whatever it costs to get that buck. Raphael 7286. If I lose all my sponsorship on this site, sponsorship? What sponsors do I have? The few that watch me, if you don't like this next or the next words I speak, I'm very sorry, but I must choose Ron Paul. Not because I need to. I'm a Canadian, but if I don't keep talking about how brilliant this guy is, okay, telling us all the words that actually should be, but people aren't listening. They aren't actually listening, some of the people. Do you know why? We don't need the war. I'm in Canada. If I'm in Canada, ask me, do I care what Iraq is doing and building bombs? I absolutely do not. What can they absolutely do? Bomb us over here and move their people by ship, boat, and plane to come over here and take over? How would they do that? On the other side of them, they would have the Queen and they have to watch out for her. On the other side, you have Russia. There's always somebody protecting somebody else. There's always protection, okay? There's always protection, and the government's been giving out a lot of protection because they didn't want any babies. They had enough. You know what I'm saying? Who's controlling what? Who shows the real truth? What is the real truth? With Ron Paul, you will see with time there will be truth. But understand, okay, his mission doesn't take one day. Okay, but everything he will do as he told you. If there's interference and he needs more money, he'll explain it. But we cannot let people in this world having trillions of dollars who stole the money and never paid taxes. If you bring them in front of a judge, they would have to be taxed minimum at 50% right now and lose their 500 trillion or 1/4 of it, and 250 trillion that you owed them would be out of the debt. And then all the interest that was piled on in the last who knows how many years, okay, is illegal interest. So that'll be another 200 trillion taken off the debt. And so on and so forth, and then America will be back at a $10 trillion debt, and we'll work it from there. Because everything else was basically stolen money. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through the basics, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I have 7 cats less today, and I couldn't stand it. No gas in the car, no money for gas, and I ran 20 kilometers to go to the cats to make sure they had something to eat on their first night out, okay? This is what we have to do in the world. I made a mistake. I had too many cats. Okay, I should have listened to Bob Barker and spayed and neuter my cats. But you know what they meant with spayed and neutering the cats, right? Women are cats, men are dogs. They wanted to neuter and spade us. They were just putting it into our mind by Bob Barker, who got into this. Don't forget, we're all persuaded in certain ways to go different places. Why? Because we work in the public. Okay. We are all coerced in one way or another. Anyways, Raphael 7286, Ron Paul. Again, why Ron Paul? Again, why Ron Paul? Okay, because put it this way. Once Ron Paul comes in, eventually down the road, do you know what's going to happen? When you get a ticket on your car for parking in the wrong spot or something, and then you notice you never parked in the wrong spot and you send it back, okay, most of the time, some of the time, half of the time, part of the time, they should just send you back a letter and say, okay, thank you, we understand, you can't make it to court. It's going to cost you $100 to come to court to fight a $60 parking ticket, and they know it doesn't make sense and things are all wrong. I think that parking tickets are too high. They shouldn't be more than whatever it double of whatever it would cost to park the whole day on the street. So if it would cost $8, it's got to be like $21 or something. I mean, we have to watch out, you know, but I got 2 parking tickets and my car wasn't even on the street. In fact, I didn't even have a car at the time for a 2-month period. I still got a parking ticket. And I went to court and she asked me, she says, what about these 2 other parking tickets? I says, yeah, I paid those, I said. She says, well, what'd you do there? I says, I guess I parked in the wrong spot. She says, maybe you parked in the wrong spot here too. I says, is this a guessing game? It's not a guessing game. I didn't park in the wrong spot. I don't have a car, and that's the way it is. What do you, oh, why are you talking so brisk? Why are you doing? Listen, I'm trying to get my word across. What do you want me to come in there and, hello, Judge? Yeah, everything is just fine. I'm here to waste my time. I'm not here to show you any strength. But the lawyers come in and they look at you and they make a face. But you've done this before. And the other one says, yes, I've seen it. He's done it before. And these times must change. Our young children becoming policemen have to understand the society, and more, the society must understand the rules and regulations of our amendments of life. Raphael 7286.